Audrey Rose is kind of a forgotten film. It's from 1977 and it is based on a book. Now, what inspired the book to be written is actually quite fascinating. Like, the whole background of this is actually more interesting than the movie itself. Well, okay, the movie itself starts off actually quite enjoyable, quite fascinating. Like, there's this family and they're being stalked by this weirdo who's played by Anthony Hopkins. And anything that you see Anthony Hopkins in, you know that he's going to give it his all, do 110%. And also, even though this was back in the 70s, Hopkins still had a really big aura about him. So that's pretty cool. Now, the thing is, Hopkins claims that the daughter of the family, who's this preteen named Ivy, is the reincarnation of his daughter. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. And of course, family thinks that he's crazy, but but there's been some weird things happening with Ivy. And of course, Hopkins knows what's going on. He figures that he may be the best thing for it all. So yeah, the movie is it starts off so interesting, but then when we find out more about the Hopkins' own Audrey Rose and when she was actually alive, that's when the movie starts to get not really less interesting, but kind of more sad as the movie happens. And the last act of the film, I thought was just kind of like, oh, okay. It's kind of a waste as the last act. Sometimes good movies are ruined by the final act of the film or the ending. And yeah, I would say that Audrey Rose is one of those films. But aside from the ending, this was in 1977. It was after The Omen. It was after The Exorcist. And the whole idea of possessed children was simply done better with those films. And even though Audrey Rose is completely different from those, you can still see that when this movie was being directed, that there were some parallels to The Omen and The Exorcist. You could really tell that that the movie was trying to capitalize on those. I think that if Audrey Rose was remade today, it probably would be better created. Like maybe get Robert Eggers to direct it, whatever. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Audrey Rose, but I did like Anthony Hopkins' performance, and I liked the first little bit of it, not really everything else. So I'll have to give Audrey Rose from 1977 2 stars out of 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.